What's up, y'all? Lee Brice here. We're hanging out with heirwavesonline.com today.
Hey guys, it's Abigail here from Airwaves, and I'm hanging out at CMA Fest with Lee Brice. How are you doing today, Lewis?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. We're having fun. You can't not have fun at CMA Fest.
Such a fun-filled week. I'll tell you, I played a lot of shows. We had a great show to start off the week with Lewispalooza, and I played last night at Redneck Riviera. I think we had old John Rich and Darryl Worley hanging out with us last night. So
much fun.
It was a lot of fun, man. It's crazy.
So we have to talk about this. Lewis has this event called Lewispalooza, and you've done it for 9 years now.
9 years in a row.
How did this happen? Tell me a little about the origin of this event and kind of what it means to you.
Yeah, well, Lewispalooza kind of started out 9 years ago. I was kind of on one of my first tours ever on the road with my buddy Nick Norman, and we're gone for like 72 days. I was home for 2. And so during those 2 days, my buddy Nick, he had never played in Nashville before, so I wanted to put together a show to get him a show in Nashville. So I started my own Palooza. And the whole idea was kind of give an opportunity to my friends to play music in Nashville. And so from there, I partnered with Musicians on Call the very first year. I've always done it with some organization, some benefit charity. And so through that, just over the years, it kind of progressed. And then now we partner with Hope Song Foundation the past couple of years. And so it's just really kind of blown up from there. And 9 years in a row, man. Hope Song Foundation is such a great foundation. Hope Song, what they do, they raise money to bring musicians all the way down to Tijuana, Mexico, to Chipsa Hospital. But it has a hospital. They do alternate treatments for cancer patients, and so what Hope Song does is it pays for musicians to come down there and play for the patients there for like about a week at a time, but also they also raise money to go towards scholarships towards some of these patients who are having success with the treatments that they're doing down there. Like they help fund them a little bit as well. So it's a really good cause for a good thing. And it just brings happiness to somebody in a different situation.
Absolutely, and it was a great event for a great cause as well. You had an amazing lineup, though. What were some of the most memorable moments from this year's fest?
Ooh, man, some of the most memorable moments that we had, like I said, the Writers Round this year, we always had a Tin Roof Revival round, and so that had like Tyler Reeve and Taylor Phillips and Channing Wilson. It's really cool. Like 3 years ago when I had this, I had them in that round, and they didn't have quite the success that they have now. All 3 of them have like #1 songs, so it's really cool to see the growth of a lot of artists that I have on the bill that kind of keep coming back. And then you have my buddy Mr. Charles Edson, Chip Edson from Nashville.
Yeah.
He's an incredible person, though. As a human being, he's a great man. And he came and jammed out and rocked it. He crushed it. And then my good buddy Mr. Chase Bryant came out too, and Jared Neiman, obviously, he was also. So it was just a really good night. We had a good crowd, and the weather was perfect. And they're calling for a little rain, but it held off all the way towards the end. And then on the inside, we had our buddies True Villains and Kurt Chambers and Cody Parks. They just had a really cool, put a little rock and roll vibe into it. So.
And not many people can say they have a Palooza named after them.
I know, right? Yeah.
I think that's pretty special.
Yeah, I tried to figure out a name. I was like, well, I wanted Palooza, but then I don't know what else. So I said, why not Lewispalooza? So somehow it stuck.
And it stuck for 9 years, so you're doing something right. You have a new song out as well called Summertime Vibes.
I do.
Could you tell me a little bit about this song, kind of how it came about and what it means to you?
Yeah, so Summertime Vibes is like that summertime song. Like I wrote it in the wintertime because I was kind of cold, and I was like, man, I want to be warm. So I was like, how do you get else to get warm? So I was thinking about the sun or summertime, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we wrote the song. It's kind of like just how I grew up in the summertime. Like I lived kind of close to the lake when I was a kid, and so we always went to the lake, went on the boats, and it wasn't necessarily wakeboarding then. It was more like hydrosliding and kneeboarding. But all my roommate now, he's wakeboard and stuff. So it's like kind of a lake vibe feel, and to me, it's like whenever you're in your
kind of windows down, you really feel it.
Yeah, so if you're hanging out in your stressed part of your day, if you're working, to me, you could just kind of put that on if you want to escape for a little 3.5 minutes, kind of go to your own little vacation. It's kind of like the whole idea of that song.
Definitely, and it has that vibe. You feel free when you listen to it.
110%. It's a good old singing song.
Absolutely, and I mean, obviously, the summer was the inspiration for that one, but you have such a diverse blend of sounds within your own personal sounds, and you have a very musical family. I mean, for those who don't know, he has a brother that has a couple songs on the radio.
One or two. He's working on a brand new #1, I think, coming up soon. Hopefully, there's a rumor going around that it could happen.
You heard it here first, folks. Yeah. So, what was it like for you growing up? I mean, how did you guys inspire each other and sort of play off each other?
It's been really cool. Like, so we grew up in a musical family. My mom and dad, they both sing growing up, and so my brother did that, and we just kind of bounced over other ideas, and we've done a really good job. He moved here first. He'd been here for X amount of years. I've been here for X amount of years, but I've learned. It's been nice to learn a lot from my brother. My brother's Lee Brice, by the way, if you guys are wondering. It's a great working relationship with him, my brother and I. We're best friends, and so. But we've done a really good job about keeping the separate entities, of like. 'Cause I do my thing. I do Lewis Brice, he does Lee Brice, and we definitely work together and love him to death. But it's been a good thing, like, about how I've been able to keep on my own path and, just kind of make my own waves, if I were to say. I've definitely been fortunate enough to have been able to learn a lot from my brother, but I've done a really good job about keeping my own path over here, so it's been fun.
Definitely, and you can tell it's two totally different journeys within your own music. That being said, your music pulls from so many different areas. There's a lot of different inspirations behind it. How would you describe the balance within your own sound? Because genre is just... it's kind of outdated.
John, because that's what I love about country music currently right now. The term country music. To me, it's very accepting to a broad range of music. And so, like my music, I mean, I love rock and roll. I'm a rocker.
You're a country rock star for sure.
Country rocker, and so, but I love all types of music. I love hip hop. I love I love pop songs. I love rap. I love hardcore country. I love old school country. So when you blend it all together, you can definitely tell I'm a scatterbrained when it comes to music. And when you hear my music, it has a lot of different areas where I try and cover. And so it's I think my music reflects me in the way of being scatterbrained and loving all types of music.
All right, I think that's a good description. I think there's a lot going on there for sure. That being said, what is coming up on this musical horizon for you?
Oh man, we got a good year left so far. So this year, like last year,
about halfway through. Well, last year you were one of our country artists to watch. We were our 2018 country artist to watch. So that being said, a lot has changed since then. There's a lot more momentum.
Oh yeah.
So what's next?
Yeah. So last year I really focused on touring a lot. I was out a whole bunch of days. This year I'm touring the same, but this year is really my focus on putting music out this year. So cause I put out an EP a year and a half ago, and last year I was kind of quiet on the music scene, putting it out. But this year I've been my focus on putting on single. So I put out Blessed last Thanksgiving, and it's done really well, over 4 million streams so far.
What is that like for you to know that 4 million people have listened to your song? Is that still crazy?
It blows my mind still. Me coming from a small town, never even thought my name and a million would be put together. So now we have 4 million just on one song. So it's I think the song itself has spoken for itself. It's a really good song, and we put out Summertime Vibes here recently, and we're going to push that towards the end of summer. And then we have another song. I'm not sure what the next song is going to be, but I've been playing in my set. So if you've been to my shows, you hear songs like Living the Life, or It's You, or Nothing But the TV On, or kind of the next 3 sequence of songs between here and next year.
So it'll be one of those sneak peek.
Yeah, so probably get 1 or 2 more songs for it in the year out, and then I'll probably release them all together coming out beginning next year, and I'll have another batch of songs coming out after that. All
right, so CMA Fest next year, Lewispalooza 10 will be here with the new music. How's that sound?
I love that, because that's a lot of truth talking right there.
All right, sounds like a plan. In 10 years, it's going to be a big deal, so we definitely got to be here for it.
It's gonna be grand. You never know. Again, you never know what you can see when you come to Lewispalooza, and this year it's going to go. Next year, we just got done, but I'm already starting to work on it. So it's going to be.
It was like 2 days ago.
I know, right?
That's awesome. So is there anything else you'd like to tell fans, listeners? Anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, just be around. Look where I'm gonna be. Look up lewisbrice.com, and it has all my tour dates on there. I'll be touring around with my brother a little bit this summer, and have a bunch of other shows coming up. Couple festivals, but also new music. That's the big thing, is music. I'm releasing a lot of music this year. Right. So next couple months, we'll have a new single coming out. Check it out.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. Lee Brice, everyone. Check out Summertime Vibes out now. Look out for more music soon, and subscribe for more interviews. We'll see you soon.
See ya.